Hello, this is Jen from Old Tinker Studio, and welcome to the 8th tutorial of the Blender Basics tutorial series. In this tutorial, we will be using the skills that we have thus acquired and model a basic character in Blender. Let's go into orthographic view, which is 5 on the numpad, and then front view, which is 1 on the numpad, to make it easier to model this character. Make sure the cube is selected, and then tab into edit mode. Using the shortcut for the specials menu, which is W, subdivide the cube. Use the A key to deselect everything, and then the Z key to go into wireframe mode. Now use the B key for box select, and select the left side of the cube, and then the X key and delete vertices. Go back into solid mode using the Z key. Now we will add a mirror modifier, so we need to only model one side of the character. Select the cube using the A key, and open up the modifiers panel, which looks like a wrench. Click on Add Modifier, and then choose Mirror. Go into top view, which is 7 on the numpad, and scale along the y-axis using the S key and then the Y key, and make the cube thinner. And left click to accept the change. Go back into front view, which is 1 on the numpad, and into wireframe mode, which is Z. Deselect everything by using the A key, and using the B key for box select, choose the vertices on the top right of the cube. Use the E key to extrude along the x-axis about 1.5 Blender units. Left click to lock in the extrusion, then extrude one more time about 1 Blender unit, and left click to lock in the extrusion. This has produced the arms of the character on both sides. Deselect everything using the A key. Use the B key for box select to select the bottom vertices. Use the E key to extrude along the Z-axis about 2 Blender units. Then use the manipulator to separate the two halves along the X-axis. Extrude along the Z-axis again about 1.5 Blender units. And adjust the angle along the X-axis using the manipulator. And extrude one more time about 1/2 Blender unit. And adjust the angle along the X-axis using the manipulator. Tab back into object mode. Go back to the modifiers tab and click apply to apply the mirror modifier. Tab back into edit mode and add a cube using Shift A. Move the cube along the Z-axis, but allow it to overlap the body by about 10%. Go into top view, 7 on the numpad, and scale along the y-axis using the S key and the Y key to make the cube thinner. Go back into front view, 1 on the numpad, and use the A key twice to select the head and the body. In the Modifiers tab, click on Add Modifier and choose Subdivision Surface. Change the View to 3 and the Render to 4. And now we have a smooth character. Let's give our character a material. Make sure the entire character is selected and go into the Materials tab. Let's rename the default material to Ginger. And let's give it a brown gingerbread color. And let's change the intensity of the specularity to 0.005. Let's tab back into object mode and select the lamp. Go into top view, 7 on the numpad, and move it to the front of the character. Then go back into front view, 1 on the numpad, select the character, and tab back into edit mode. Now let's add a texture to the character. Get to the Texture tab and choose Stucky for the type. If we give this a quick render, we notice that the character has a fuchsia color attached to it. And we can easily change this under the Influence section. Click on the fuchsia color and make it black. And render the character again. Now notice that we have black replacing the fuchsia color. Let's add a bit of dimensionality to the character. Under the Influence section of the Texture tab, click on Displace and change the value to 0.04. Click on Normal and change the value to 0.025. Then let's render the character and see what it looks like now. Now let's go back up to the Stucky section and change the size to 0.004 and render the character. We have our character modeled, so let's save this character so we can use him in the next tutorial. Go to File, Save, and give the file a name. I'm just going to call him Gus. And then choose a folder and make sure to save it as a blend file. This concludes the Blender character creation tutorial. Next week we will learn about character rigging and animation in Blender.